Hello guys, hope you are well. My name is Reza. Thank you so much for watching this video. In this session, I'm going to talk about the two muscles of our upper arm. One of them is the biceps brachii and the other one is the triceps brachii. In this session, I'm going to talk about the anatomy and function of these two muscles, and obviously you will see how we can improve them and develop them by doing the resistance training. So if I want to start with the biceps, I can tell bi means two and sep means head. So biceps means two heads. Triceps, tri means three, and sep means head, so means three heads. So bicep has two heads and tricep has three heads. So what are the origin of the biceps brachii? Biceps, as I said, has two heads. So one of the heads start from the here, which is called scapula supraglenoid tubercle, which scapula is the or shoulder blade is the bone of the back. So this bone that you can touch it has different area, and one part of it on top is called scapula or supraglenoid tubercle, which the biceps attach it. So biceps has two heads, one of them called long head, which is in this section, and the other one has called short head. So the long head goes all the way up to the supraglenoid tubercle, which is here, and the other one goes all the way to the scapula, again another part of it, and this is the cricoid process, which is here. So in this area you see here the origin of the biceps will start. So bicep will start from here and the other head from here, and it goes all the way to here, and it passes the elbow and it attached to the radial bone. So the original are here, the insertion is on our radial. So radial is the one of the two bones of the forearm. Forearm has two bones. Radial is the one of them. The ulna is the other one. So if I want to tell you about like how they work, major functionality of the biceps brachii is called flexion of the elbow. So this is called elbow flexion. But in one of my previous video, I explained that there are three elbow flexors, which are biceps brachii here, then brachialis here underneath, and then radio brachialis or brachioradialis, which is on this one. So but if I want to focus on the biceps brachii, which is one of the major elbow flexors, I can tell you if we have our the hands facing up, we call supination. So supine, and then we do this movement. This is called supinated elbow flexion. So this part, the major muscle will be biceps. That's why most of the exercises that we do for the biceps is going to be facing up. So when you have face up, this is going to be the major target of elbow flexion or these movements. So we could have this movement, means hands this way, or we could have this way. So they all call elbow flexion, means you're bending the elbow, but the direction of your hands is going to determine which muscle is going to be dominant. So for biceps brachii, the hands should be facing up if you want to just target this area. So these two heads major, this is what I said, one of my major work is this one, but they are also assisting one of the other shoulder movement that we call shoulder flexion. This is shoulder flexion. If you remember on the functionality of the deltoid muscle, I'll talk about the flexion. So this is called flexion, which is the major function of the interior deltoid. The biceps is assisting the anterior deltoid on this movement. So anytime you do front raise, for example, you want to just work on your front part of your deltoid, you do front raise. So at this exercise or this movement, the biceps brachii also assisting the deltoid for such a movement. So if I just want to show you here, see here, so this is the part of the biceps, and at this section you can see this is going to be split. So when you see this split, you can see the two heads of the biceps. So and it goes all the way down to this area, which is the ulna, the bone, the radial bone, and then it goes all the way here, attached to the supraglenoid here, and this one, which is the short head, which is inside, more the lateral part. This one goes all the way here and attached to the cricoid process. So this is about the biceps brachii. So now I want to talk about the triceps. So now we know the biceps major work is flexion of the elbow, but there is another function for biceps, which is turning your hands from this way to this way, which called forearm supination. So again, if you see here, this is one of the other functionality of your biceps. Facing down means pronation to supination. So if you just turn your hand like that, this is what biceps does for you. So two major jobs for biceps brachii. One, flexion of the elbow when the hand is facing up, though turning from this to this. So these are the major function of the biceps brachii. Okay? Now I'm going to talk about triceps. Triceps, as I said, has three heads. One of them is the lateral head, as you see here, lateral head, then long head, and then medial head. So medial head is this one and is underneath of the long head. So if I want to tell you about the origin of these three muscles, the lateral one, which is here, and the medial one, they are attached to the humerus bone. So the bone of upper arm called humerus. So this bone gonna have the medial, this one, and the lateral head of your triceps on it. So the lateral is gonna be on top part of the humerus, the medial one gonna have the lower part of the humerus, and then the long head, which is this big one, is gonna be attached to the scapula. So as I said again, scapula has different area, and which is the big shoulder blade at the back. On the top part of it is going to be the spot that this long head of the triceps is going to attach to this part. So this is also one of the origin of the triceps. They all gonna go together and they're gonna attach to the other bone of the forearm, which is called ulna. The major function of the triceps is elbow extension. So it means extending your elbow means letting your elbow be straight. So biceps is going to flex it, triceps is going to extend it. So it doesn't matter which area you have your hands. So the hands facing up or down, because the triceps is, turning your hand is not going to change the direction of the triceps muscles. So it doesn't matter if you're pushing, for example, this way or you're pushing this way, all three heads are going to work together. So major job of the triceps muscle at the back is extending your elbow. So the exercises that we do usually for triceps are the cables like this, cable extension, overheads, skull crusher, dumbbell. So anything we do is trying to extend the elbow. That's why on the designing the program, we have to use the exercises that extending the elbow to improve your triceps. The other functionality of the triceps is going to be on other movement of the shoulder joint, which is shoulder extension. So in the shoulder extension, which is this, so that was shoulder flexion, going up, going down is shoulder extension. So when you do shoulder extension, the long head of the triceps, which is attached to the scapula, not this part, is also involved of doing this movement. That's why, for example, if you do straight arm push down, at the end you may feel your triceps is also engaged, and that's why, because the triceps also assisting the extension when you're especially doing the back exercises. So I hope you enjoyed this explanation about the anatomy and functionality of these two major muscles. So I hope you can design the good program basically to improve these two muscles. And these are the major muscles that obviously cover the upper arm. There are uh, other muscles of the elbow flexors, which I said about them, the brachialis and the radiobrachialis. But as I said, I was going to focus on these two muscles and their functionality, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck.